it is finally time. And I wasn't gonna film this video because I thought 0 people are gonna be interested in this. And then yesterday I posted a TikTok and actually like 50,000 people were interested in it. And I thought, you know what? Even if only one of those people watch this, I'm gonna film a reacting to 1989 Taylor's version because this album means a lot to me. And it's actually been out for an hour now and I've not listened to it because we were actually just climbing a mountain and there was no signal. Anyway, now we've got back to our Airbnb. I'm gonna play it for the first time and I am so excited. I have no idea if there is more to come. Currently there is just the vault that we knew about. There's the 5 vault track and then obviously all of the songs that we already had. I do think something else is coming, but I just don't know what it is yet. And maybe there isn't, I have no idea. I feel like we're all just constantly clowning.
Bad Blood Kendrick.
That was Tom saying bad blood Kendrick Lamar. I actually do agree. I think there's more to come with this, but for now we are gonna react to just the vault tracks. Obviously I'm gonna listen to the whole album through, but I have heard those songs before. I presume for the most part they're gonna be fairly similar. They usually are. I have had a few people saying that style sounds quite different, so maybe I'll listen to that too, but we're just gonna jump straight in. I'm quite excited. I'm gonna pull the lyrics up alongside it because basically how I listen to a new Taylor Swift album is I'll play the song and I read the lyrics at the same time because sometimes I definitely miss things. It feels wild to me that there's like Taylor Swift songs that I don't know. I love this about a new release. I absolutely love that feeling. I'm gonna go straight to the vault. So 1989 Taylor's version, starting with the first vault track, which is Slut, Taylor's version from the vault. I don't know what to expect from this. It's either gonna be a banger or it's gonna be kind of sad. Wait. Slay. Slay. Why is it paused? I like that. I feel like it's actually, and this surprises me, somewhere in the middle of what I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was either going to be pop, banger, kind of along the lines of like the Very First Night vault track, or a really sad ballad. I don't really think it's not quite like but it's also not like gonna make me cry. I really like that. I'm slightly gutted that the line aquamarine moonlit swimming pool is the 3rd line of this track because I was so sure that they were gonna be song titles. But yeah, I really like this. The bridge, insane, love it. I feel like, is this why the special edition of the vinyl is tangerine orange? Like it definitely could be. Yeah, I really like this. I think it echoes the themes of the whole album. Like, oh, are we in love? Are we not in love? You're not gonna say you're in love. Like this is gonna blow up. We're gonna regret this. Like really, I think it ties in super well. I think so many things nod to Harry Styles, but I also am aware that I could just place things in there that I think are linked that definitely maybe aren't. I also kind of don't like, this is my thing with Taylor Swift, right? I have always loved her music, but this album specifically was when I became like a big Taylor Swift fan. Like I was a lot younger before 1989, but when this album came out, I just turned 50. I remember this release week. This was the first album that I remember being released and being like, oh, like new Taylor Swift music. But I was not ever really, until more recently, invested in her personal life. Like I think that actually probably came with TikTok for me, because before that I just really liked her music. I just had her album and I didn't listen to her alongside keeping up with her online as much. Definitely on and off. I do think I was aware that she had dated Harry Styles because I think I knew that the song Style was like supposedly about him at the time. But like now I kind of don't like that immediately as soon as she releases music, everybody's like, who's it about? Who's it about? Who's it about? I don't think there was quite the same amount of that back originally. Or maybe that just wasn't for me because I was only like 14 at the time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely think people listen through a slightly different lens now. On the flip side of that, I think that she knows that that's happening and it keeps the element of like mystery. The second vault track is Say Don't Go. I don't know what to expect from this, so let me get the lyrics up. I've known it from the very start. Wow. So low. I'm not gonna be able to sing along to this one. Sorry, but I feel like because this wasn't in this originally, she reused that same image in Folklore. Like, I'm still on this tightrope. I'm still trying everything to keep you looking at me like, we love a parallel. Anyway. I actually really like that one. Do I prefer that to Slut? Maybe. Favorite bit, 100%. That silence speaks volumes. I really like the bridge in this. I actually think a lot of this song, probably deliberately so, is reminding me of All You Had to Do Is Stay, because of the like stay and then like say, like it sounds very similar. Even the narrative of like all you had to do is stay and all I wanted you to do was say don't go. Like there's obviously okay, we're gonna call this quits, but if you say actually I don't want to call this quits, we're gonna turn around and do this all over again. I think that that's the whole narrative of the album. Really is like, oh, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, like I mean, I think that there's actually a few callbacks to, I mean, it's not a callback because this would have been written before. I think she's used these themes in songs on Reputation because she didn't use them on this album originally. So like where A Shot in the Dark is dark, it's like you never had a shotgun shot in the dark. And also the one about strike a match, blow it out, struck a match and blew your mind, getaway car. Like I definitely don't think there's a link. I think she's just reused these phrases afterwards, but I do really like them. But yeah, this one here, you kiss me and it stops time, I'm yours but you're not mine. That's really sad. But yeah, I like that one more than I thought I would. Like I think like most fans, the two that stood out to me were obviously Slut and then also Suburban Legends. I'm very intrigued to hear that. I thought that the titles Say Don't Go, Now That We Don't Talk and Is It Over don't give too much away. Like they sound more, I don't want to say generic, but like you're not getting much from that. So I'm surprised pleasantly. This is Now That We Don't Talk. I'm excited. I'm excited. The Charlie Puth version is coming up, which is immediately where my mind went as well, not gonna lie.
Charlie what?
Charlie Puth? Charlie Puth?
You said Puth.
How do you say his surname?
Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth.
You went to a party, I heard from everybody. You part the crowd like the Red Sea, don't even get me started.
I'm reading the lyrics ahead, hold on.
You grew your hair long, you got new icons. And from the my mom, she said that it was for the best.
Firstly, I think I already knew this, but that's her shortest song ever. Like that's very, very to the point. And I was 19, like 100% sure. I mean, I've just said, I don't love it when people are like, who's this about? But like the opening lines, I was like, this is so about Harry Styles. Like 100% this is about Harry Styles. Sorry, the lyric, you grew your hair long. Let's just look at what Harry did after they broke up. Iconic, it was iconic. But then at the end, I'm like, oh, it's giving echoes of I Bet You Think About Me. Which I definitely don't think there's a direct link, but like she doesn't have to pretend that she wants all these fancy things and have conversations with people that she has no interest in. That's definitely a little bit of a theme. But maybe she's just dated multiple people that are like that. Let me see what Genius has linked this with. I don't have to pretend to like acid rock. Yeah, this is saying that it's similar to We Are Never Getting Back Together. Either way, whoever this song's about, separate to that, I actually really like it. I think the lyric, I called my mum, she said it was for the best, all of that. It's like, that's the kind of storytelling that makes Taylor's music feel relatable. Like when I listened to this album the first time when I was 15 and I was going through my 15-year-old breakup and thought that I was being heartbroken, but I actually was not. That's the kind of lyric that I would have eaten up. I would have been like, yeah, Taylor called her mom and I'm gonna do the same thing. And now I'm like, that's really nice as an adult now, as a 24-year-old, to look back, being the age that Taylor was when this album came out now is actually really quite nice. To like get to do it the second time around and see it through her eyes. I think that like it puts a new perspective on this album for me anyway, and I just really like those kind of lyrics. But also I just think like this is actually very sad. Like, what do you tell your friends we shared dinners and long weekends with? I think that there's definitely remnants of the red heartbreak in this storytelling. Okay, the next one is the big one, guys. It's Suburban Legends time, and I have no idea what to expect. I'm a bit worried, but after all this, I'm gonna prefer these ones that I've just already listened to. It takes like 12 listens through to pick a favorite Taylor Swift song. Is my camera gonna die? Let's see.
You had people who called you on unmarked numbers. In my peripheral vision, I let it slide like a hose on a slippery plastic summer. Always quick beginning. You was all magnetic, it was almost nauseous. Flash the currency through. I was tossing out my empty pocket, and you kissed me in a way that's gonna screw me up forever.
Nice. Firstly, I actually really like the music. I really like that, and I'm so glad that it didn't disappoint me. My brain doesn't work fast enough to connect all of the dots. Like the lyric about the star signs, like I had the fantasy that maybe our mismatched star signs would surprise the whole school. I can't do the star signs fast enough in my mind to like link. But there's a lot of callbacks to being at school, so I'm like, is this actually not really related to the relationships happening at that time? And this is more of a like teenage angst, teenage upset, especially the suburban legends, especially the like, you know, we're from a small town, we're from the suburbs. The whole narrative is a little bit more like callback to younger Taylor. But then I don't know, I think also there's definitely the possibility that it's just linked. I really like the storytelling in this. This is Taylor's writing at its best. Apart from the lyric, I let it slide like a hose on a slippery plastic summer. I don't love that. It's just a little clunky, but I feel like that's just Taylor. There's always a lyric that's like, oh, that's a little bit. But I really do like the rest of the verse. Like, you were so magnetic, it was almost obnoxious. Flush with the currency of cool. I think that's very nice. There's so much nice lyricism. Man, I kind of just wish these had been on the original albums. Like, I would have eaten this up in 2014. I would have been all over this. And in 2015 and 16 and 7 and every year since. Okay, we've got the closing track, which I'm still like, is this the closing track? The fact that it's called Is It Over Now? Is it over now? Who knows? This is It Over Now? They've all been quite poppy so far. There's like no slow or sad songs. Is it gonna be this? No? Oh, maybe. Ooh. Is she sampling herself here? What is this? This might be my favourite lyric so far. Hold on. Wow, she's so specific. She might as well have inserted a photo of a layer here.
Red blood, white snow. Blue dress on a bow. New girl is my clone.
So the next one is called Two Ghosts.
Same lips red, same eyes blue, same white shirt, couple more tattoos.
So far what I'm getting from this, and I'm probably completely wrong, is very Taylor Swift vibes. First line, he's mentioned red lips, white shirt. So far it fits. I'm gonna infer that he is singing about Taylor. But why are they all my favourite immediately after I listen to them? That is just so good. Like, that is so specific. And also I feel as though that's the only one that's slightly angry towards this relationship with Harry Styles. Like, she spelled it out. Like, that's 100% not about anybody else. Usually they're kind of a little bit like, oh, it was nice, he was nice, this was nice. This is more like, oh, and you did this and did this with her and with her. And like, I quite like that. Tom's looking at me as if I've lost my mind. But yeah, I just think it's very specific. I also think, and I can see why this was left off the original album, because it doesn't really fit the echoes of like how the relationship was left at the time. The storytelling and the songwriting is just incredible. I love how it goes from searching every maiden's bed to every model's bed, like as the times have gone on a little bit, like as we're in the second chorus. I just think that some of these are quite sarky, like quite, I don't know, to the point lyric. If she's got blue eyes, I will surmise that you'll probably date her. Like, okay. Yeah, I really like this. I also like the lyric, at least I had the decency to keep my nights out of sight, which makes me think that there's probably a lot of situations in Taylor's life that like we the fans and just the general public know nothing about. Like, if she doesn't want to be seen, we know that she just won't be seen. So if she's hiding relationships or things that have gone on, there's 100% like possibility that that very much happened. I also like the red blood, white snow, blue dress on a boat. Like, that's, come on. But also, oh yeah, wait, oh, I've just clocked red blood, white snow, as in like 20 stitches in the hospital room in the snowmobile accident, right? The camera is back on. It did just die, but I used that time to listen to the rest of the album. I mean, I say every Taylor's version is my favourite because it always tops the last one. But I really do think that this vault is the best vault. Like, there's not a single skip. There's not a single miss out of those vault tracks. But if I had to order it currently after 2 listens through, because I did listen again, I'm gonna go that this is my order. Is It Over Now? in at number 1. Suburban Legends maybe in at number 2. Oh, this is really hard actually. Say Don't Go, Slut, Now That We Don't Talk. Oh, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, that could be any order. I think solidly Is It Over Now and Suburban Legends are my favourite 2. That's probably all I can say actually. And the more I think about it, so I re-listened to Is It Over Now, and I think the sampling at the beginning is the same as this. Is the same chords and the same intro as this. Labyrinth off of Midnights, which I just think is a little fun little extra. Do with that what you will. I also really just have now had time to deep how dramatic it is that she's literally singing. Oh, I get the urge to like throw myself off a tall building to see how you react. Like, she is so dramatic and I love her for it. I really just like that track a lot. I think that Harry Styles probably thought that he'd got away with the Taylor's version re-recordings, but this song maybe said otherwise. But I honestly just really like all of them. I think I'm quite surprised that Slut doesn't have the angst of like some of the later tracks. Like Is It Over Now feels quite angry. I feel like that's what Slut was gonna be, but I'm quite surprised that it isn't. But yeah, overall, without doubt, my favorite Taylor's version vault. Will that change? Basically, when Speak Now came out, I was like, this is the best vault. And then after like a month, I went back to being like, oh no, actually Red has the best vault, because Red's vault is like unmatched. But I think if this album had had the same hype and the same promo that Red had had, like don't get me wrong, 1989 definitely had more promo and hype than Speak Now. But like Red got a whole like moment. Like Red got its own like mini era. No, not even mini. There was like film premieres and catwalks and TV show appearances. Like there was a lot going on for Red. I feel like if 1989 had had that, then would it be my favorite vault? I don't know really if that would make any difference. But like in my head, I just really have strong memories associated with when Red came out. But yeah, right now, it's currently my favourite vault. So do let me know in the comments which your favourite vault track is, which your favourite album track is. I find that really, really hard to answer, but I think it's probably between Clean and New Romantics. But it was actually the song Wildest Dreams that converted me from like a Taylor Swift fan to like a big Taylor Swift fan. Like I listened to this album the first time it came out, and Wildest Dreams was like the song that I kept on going back to. And I actually found in my Apple Music yesterday the original 1989 album that I had bought, because at the time when this album came out, that was like when she took her music off of streaming, and I didn't have Spotify at the time. So I bought the album and it's obviously still in my iTunes. I was just thinking back to how I was in year 10 at the time, and I would literally just play Wildest Dreams on repeat through my headphones, like for the whole of like a lesson or a class, like because we used to be allowed to listen to music in class. I just Wildest Dreams on a loop. And I think that that was when I made a transition from like, oh yeah, I like Taylor Swift, to like, no guys, you don't understand, this is my favorite artist. So like I say, this album does mean a lot, and I can't possibly pick a favorite. It will be different tomorrow, it will be different next week. I will listen to them all multiple times. If you do want to keep up to date with my general Taylor Swift thoughts and ramblings, I usually post that stuff over on TikTok, just because I do know that this content is not everybody's cup of tea. Some people do have other things to be doing with their time and their lives than dedicating their whole afternoon to Taylor Swift releasing an album that actually came out 9 years ago. But if you're like me and this has been your whole highlight of the week, one of your highlights of the week, because I am in Tasmania on a road trip right now, do let me know in the comments. Do subscribe to see more content like this, and I shall be back with a vlog from Tasmania on Tuesday.